Ding. All right, so I think we could officially start. Destiny, do you want to introduce everyone, and then I'll pick up from there.
Sure. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining this session with Avery Dennison and our talented group of trainers to talk about the importance of continued education in the wrap industry and certification. So welcome to this session. I hope you enjoy it. Please interact in chat. I'll be reading the questions throughout the conversation. So today joining us, we have Justin Pate, John Duever, and Chad Parrish, who are our trainers, and they're going to take a couple minutes to introduce themselves.
So I'll begin. My name's Justin Pate, and I've been teaching workshops for Avery Dennison since 2011, I think, or maybe 2010. Actually, I'll take it back. So I started the program in North America for Avery Dennison. First year, I taught around 8 workshops, and I built the whole workshop program around my real-world experience. I was a freelance installer from 1996 up until 2010. And basically, I wanted to make a workshop that was really had its feet solidly on the ground. So everything that I was teaching wasn't kind of theoretical. It was more based on, money, time, having high quality. And started off with 8 workshops, did that for 2 years. And then we added a color change workshop to the commercial workshop that was first created. That went up to 19 workshops, and, they were super popular, which was awesome. And around 2015, 2016, Avery Dennison was like, we want to add more workshops, and I just couldn't do it all. So I started to look for another person to, hand the platform or, to start teaching workshops as well. And I think it was in 2015, John, that we met at RapsCon. Or was it 2016?
RapsCon.
Yeah. And I remember there was a big table. There was like maybe 50 people having dinner at this I think it was a Brazilian restaurant, and I just saw John, just sat next to him, and we just talked for maybe 5 or 10 minutes, because that was, at parties, my maximum is 5 minutes, and then I'm out. So that's as long as I can do. And there's just a really strong connection with John. Like, I just immediately thought, okay, this is the guy that I would love to teach the workshops, just because I felt like John really connected with the feel for the workshops for Avery. What makes them special is they're super authentic. They're based in real world. We can kind of say what we want. We incorporate our real world experiences, and John was the perfect match. So John came on and did a great job, and I think with that, I'd like to pass on the introduction to you, John.
Thanks, sir. My name is John Duever. From St. Louis, Missouri. I own a company called Vinyl Images and Design out of St. Louis. We're a pretty big print house here. We print and produce over 3,500 wraps and graphics packages per year. I got a staff of about 18 people, 27,000 square foot facility. I host the podcast called the Rap IQ Podcast. It's all about industry knowledge and industry stuff. I've been an Avery Dennison trainer. This is year 5 of Avery Dennison training for me. And I always tell people when I teach my classes that there's 3 things that are like the most important thing to me in the entire world. It's being a great spouse to my wife. I love my wife so much. Being a positive role model to my 2 sons. I will have a 3rd son here in just a few weeks. So being a positive role model and great parent to my kids, and then training. The training factor is on my top 3 things that I love to do, and the top 3 important things in my life. And I take that passion in, and I'm very, very serious about it. And, I was able to come into this program after RapsCon, after Justin and I spoke, at dinner. I was able to come into this program and kind of just like show up and be passionate at these events and be passionate at these classes. And it was just a seamless integration. Justin was a great help bringing me up. I didn't know a lot about training, to be honest with you. I trained I trained myself, and I trained my own crew, but to sit in front of a group of people you've never met before, and to see those light bulbs going off around the room, it was one of the most amazing experiences of my life. And then it's like a drug. Like, you can't get enough of it. It's all I want to do now. I just love training. I love teaching. I love making those light bulbs go off. I love the follow-up after the classes too, where people shoot me an email and be like, hey, I need help with this, or hey, what do you think about this, or hey, I learned this from you, look at how great this mirror looks. And it's like, there's not a lot that's better than that for me, honestly. And as the program grew, we needed to bring on another trainer. So, the man, the myth, the legend. I got on my knees and I said, "Please, Chad."
John,
and here he is.
John, really quickly,
Yeah.
we had a couple of questions about your podcast. Can you let people know
Yeah.
where they can listen?
Yeah, you can find it on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, on any sort of platform that hosts a podcast. It's everywhere. Anywhere you can do it. It's called the Rap IQ Podcast. I host it with a good friend of mine and co-host Blake Madsen from Remix Raps. We try to put out a new episode every Monday at 5 a.m. Central. We launch a new episode so we can start the week right. A lot of motivation, a lot of business, a lot of no BS talk about the real world goings on of the rap world, the tint world, the PPF world, and the coatings world. You know, things that I'm immersed in at all times, and Blake is immersed in at all times. So I try not to fake any of the information. If I don't know the answer, I don't talk about it, and it's fun. We started at the beginning of the year, so we're still learning, but we're having a really good time doing it. We're touching a lot of lives. So I have this bucket, this help people bucket, and it's really big. And I knew that how I was doing on social media and with the Avery training, I wasn't touching enough people. I wasn't helping enough people, and the podcast puts it on a grand scale. So I'm stoked about the podcast.
Cool. Well, I guess I'll take it after that. So my name is Chad Parrish. I'm based out of Muskegon, Michigan. I started off back straight out of high school working for a large format print shop. I worked for them till about roughly 2006, and then parted ways, and then went into subcontract installation. From that day on, I do from the present now. I'm still a subcontracted installer along with having a PPF shop. I was adapted to the program I think it was 4 years ago, a year after John. And it's been nothing but exciting ever since. You know, I have a very similar passion, just like John has explained and Justin has explained. It's one of those things where, you know, when I was going through, you know, a lot of the situations and installations and, you know, coming up through the sign industry, I didn't have a lot of that information, you know, provided to me. So a lot of that stuff was learning, you know, so I kind of had to fail along the way. And, you know, so to be able to give back to our industry in a way that is super helpful for those that are coming up, if we can point them in the right direction, I mean, it's exciting for all of us. So I think it's just, you know, just to have that alone is amazing. So, and we can share that with you guys.
Yeah, I mean, I think you know, and what I think those of you watching right now, if you've never taken an Avery Dennison workshop and you're wondering what is the difference between, let's say, an Avery Dennison workshop and maybe different manufacturers, is I think since the beginning, the core, like when I created the workshop program, the one thing that Avery was really open to is I said, you know, this industry is going to change quickly. What I'd like to do is every workshop or every month or every year, I want to throw in as soon as there's a new tool or technique, I want to incorporate it in the program. So it's almost like you have an update on your phone. And if you want to set it up on automatic update, your apps are going to constantly be refreshed. And I think that's what the workshop does. Is I think you guys can attest, the workshop that we're teaching this year is different than what happened 2 years ago or even a year ago. Is constantly changing. And I think that's what's really enjoyable for us, is not only do we love to teach, but we love to have that fresh content. We love to be able to incorporate it with real world experiences. And I don't know, just have the openness. And I think that's what's really cool about Avery, to be honest with you, as a corporation, is they almost have like a small business mindset for a corporation where they allow us the freedom and they trust us to stand in front of the people and teach and provide not only a great workshop, but also a great real world experience. Kind of what you're saying, John, is really helping people change their lives, transform.
Absolutely. I think one of the best things about, you know, us as trainers is, you know, I run a large, you know, vinyl wrap production facility. You know, I mean, it's like a well-oiled machine. I have lots of people, lots of processes. I'm in the trenches day in and day out, both the business side of it and the installer side of it. Chad does the same thing. Chad runs a business where he's immersed in it day in and day out. Justin, you're putting out a new video every single day on the Rap Institute. Every single person is bringing real world, like immediate real world information to the training. And that's the most beautiful thing, is it's the most up-to-date training out there, because it changes. We'll change it halfway through the year. if something comes up, a new
Yeah.
tool comes up, something happens, Justin will give us a call and say, hey, listen, here's what's going on. We're going to change this. Like, awesome. And then if we bring something to the program, he's always open to do that as well. So that's I got ADD, man. Like, I can't do the same thing every single day, right? So to change stuff to stay up to date and modern is so important, and we really do a good job of that.
Yeah, I think it just, and the willingness to be able to adapt and to learn those techniques. And because, I mean, just like you guys are saying, everything changes daily, so whether it's, the materials itself, you might have to tweak your installation just a little bit more, or whatever material you're using, you got to tweak it a little bit. And, it goes as far as just like you said, John, is communication within your shop, from design to installation, and even production in the middle of that, so if everyone's not on the same page, and and that's, I think, what we bring a lot to the table too, more than just techniques, is just everything, and the biggest thing is just making sure all those ducks are in a row so you can get to the spot where you want to be in the end.
Absolutely. And I think, based on this, what was interesting is, I think for all of us last year, it was hard with COVID. With COVID coming on, I think we had almost, Destiny, how many workshops did we have planned for last year? 48, 49 or something like that?
Yep, 48.
Yeah. So we had 48 workshops planned. I taught 2, and you guys taught how many?
2.
2. So that bucket that John was talking about was not very full. So last year was hard. We had to take time off, but it was the right thing to do. We were protecting our students, and that's number one priority. And so then, this year started, and the workshops were like, okay, are people going to take workshops? And Destiny, are people signing up for workshops?
Signing up for workshops right now, all the posted workshops are full through September, I believe.
It's madness.
Which is crazy. And so it got to the point where I think recently the idea was like, okay, there's so many people signing up for workshops. The waiting list is so big right now. What do we do? I'm maxed with my schedule because I got the Rap Institute. I'm making videos and doing stuff. You guys have your businesses, and we're pretty maxed. John, you got the third one coming, which is a lot cool. So we thought, man, maybe we need another trainer to come on the program. And that's what I would like to announce right now. So this is one of the first big announcements that we're going to make right now, is the 4th trainer for the program is the one and only, and we all agreed with this. If we had needed another trainer, the first person that came out of our mouths was Charlie
Trujillo,
owner of Lettering Express. So we'd love it if Charlie would come on and say hi.
Hello.
Yes.
Brilliant announcement. Thank you so much.
Welcome, sir.
For those of you watching, I'll let Charlie explain kind of what you do. But why is Charlie a great fit for this program? Is Charlie's an amazing installer, is a great business owner, loves to rap, has certifications all across the board, super nice guy, passionate family man. So he fits the mold perfectly. And I think all of us have our own unique personalities. John is super quiet, really shy. Chad is really outgoing. No, but we all have the same core beliefs, but we're all different. And I think we all bring something unique to the table. And I think Charlie, you will too. So again, huge announcement. I'm super happy to have you on board. Charlie, if you want to explain to everyone a bit about yourself and why you're a great fit for the program.
Yes. Thank you, Justin. Thank you, Avery team. Super excited to be here. I'm Charlie Trujillo. I'm from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. I have a company here in Oklahoma City called Lettering Express. We have been in business since 1988. If you're doing a little bit of math, it doesn't add up. My parents started the business, so it's a family-run business. We have about 18 employees as well, similar to John's size. We do everything. We're kind of the one-stop shop. For a long time, we've been kind of narrowing down our product list. We've done it all from vehicle wraps, boat wraps, floor wraps, signage, backlit, non-backlit, wall wraps, all that good stuff. But, as time has told us, we have to kind of dial it in and kind of figure out the process. I started installing in about 2009. I've worked for a number of different companies besides my parents. I didn't really start rapping until 2009, though. And then I think I got my first certification in 2014 with Justin, Avery Dennison program in Denver, Colorado. And then from then, it's just been, you get that one and you get so excited, that feeling when you get that, you know, that message, that email saying, hey, welcome to the club. You know, it was amazing feeling, super, super good. And similar to what John said earlier, it's kind of like a drug. You can't get enough of it. I just wanted to get as much knowledge as possible. So I started pretty much getting with every platform I could get on and getting as much knowledge as possible. Always watching the Rap Institute, doing all that. Yeah, nice little plug. Hit me up later. But other than that, yeah, it's just, you know, we're a family-run business here in Oklahoma City. We're doing a lot. COVID was an interesting time frame, but I'm really, really excited to be here, and thanks for having me on.
Awesome. So basically, how it's going to work, I don't know, Destiny. I think you have the idea is that Charlie is going to come on. And he's going to start teaching workshops right away. Correct?
Next week, Charlie will be in next week.
Yes, very excited. First class next week. I did a little bit of training with John in Atlanta about a month or so ago at Miller Decals, and then about 2 months ago with Justin in Dallas. Super, super excited. Can't wait to get to Nashville and teach it up. Super excited.
I would say what's something real quick.
Oh, please.
So anyone that has Charlie as a trainer, this dude is nails, like for real. Like when it was an opportunity to bring on another trainer, and then Chad came on, it was like, oh, we're the best team ever. Like now we got the four amigos. Like it's this dude. Like he's so he's so talented. It's almost intimidating as a trainer. Like when I was in Atlanta with him, and how he accentuates words and explains things down into a highly intelligent yet very easily understood manner. It was just like, oh my gosh, I got to step my game up. And I love the fact that I'm in that position. I love the fact that the quality of people on this panel of trainers is that high, where I'm just like, ooh, I gotta practice. I gotta take a public speaking course. I gotta do this and do that in order to better myself, in order to keep up. So Charlie, you are the man. I'm so happy to have you on, man.
Thank you so much.
Charlie.
You're welcome. You can pay me later too. Like
He's making me. Oh goodness.
Starla says that we have the dream, that you guys are the dream rap team. I think I agree with that.
What a sweetheart. Thank you, Starla.
Lots of congratulations in the comments.
Charlie's blushing.
I'm not gonna lie, guys. I'm a little nervous. I'm on a panel right now with a bunch of all-stars, so I feel extremely honored. Thank you.
you're more than welcome to be on this
You're an
panel.
all-star.
Yeah.
100%. And I think, part of that too is, Charlie will be teaching certifications, and I think we all teach certifications, and, we all love the training part, but I actually really enjoyed the certification part too. You talked about getting your first one and having that be a drug. And, I think a lot of us have multiple certifications under our belt. And, part of this discussion is not only announcing Charlie, which is awesome, but just to talk about the importance of getting certified and what makes the Avery Dennison certification maybe different from others. And I don't know if you guys whoever wants to talk about it first, but I think it's really interesting for people listening right now to not only understand why it's important to have, but why is it particularly unique, the Avery Dennison one. I don't know who wants to start.
I'll take it. John's like backing away. Yeah, no, I've done I think I have maybe 8 or 9, 10 certifications from different manufacturer organizations. What makes the Avery certification platform so special is because, no lie, the trainers. It's really exciting to be able to have an opportunity to be in the same room with someone like Justin or John or Chad. And these guys have been around the block. I mean, they have seen a lot. They have done every type of install and had every type of thing go wrong. And having that conversation, yeah, right. Have that conversation in person, with not just someone there just to teach the curriculum, but actually have been, in the thick of it. It's really exciting. And, Avery's a great material. It's a different animal than some other films, but it's the part that makes Avery's program so special is really just getting with everyone in the class and having that moment that like, oh, I'm doing this right, or, oh, I'm doing it wrong, and not being alone. It's really exciting kind of getting that acknowledgement of, oh, this is correct, or oh no, this is wrong, and then be able to fix that or get that information right on the spot. That's what's really cool. And it, like Justin said earlier, it's extremely loose, right? So if you have a question, you can go over it and kind of get that information right then and there. And it's not an email back and forth. It's really exciting stuff. So that's one of the reasons I think the Avery program is so special.
Yeah, and I think if I could chime in really quick, I mean, I think when I first started the certification, I hadn't taken very many, but and this is before John came on board. I had already created the certification program, but I wanted it to be 100% neutral, where it's totally based on points, where it's like, it's not strict, but it's strict. Like, I mean, if it's the shop owner taking it, I'm not going to pass them because he's the shop owner and I happen to be in a shop, where it's just like, you didn't quite pass, you didn't pass, so be it. Basically the criteria is for the certification is, I basically ask the people, and I think you guys do too, would you let this out of your shop or would you redo it? Do you think it will last 2 years? Would a client pay for it or not? And let it be as simple as that. And it can be pretty confrontational, but at the same time, I do feel like in terms of the certification, it's like, I think if you pass, you passed, and I think it has a very high bar. And I think, maybe Chad and John's bar is very, very high, but I think, but at the end of the day, I like that because it's very honest, because at the end of the day, if your client's not going to pay for it, that you're not going to have money to, pay your bills, and I think that's realistic. So if you don't pass the Avery certification, you don't pass, which is, and John and Chad, I know you have your inputs on this as well.
Absolutely. Like when it comes to the certification, I'll tell you right now, like I'm having a class in November here at Vinyl Images, and I'm not allowing my guys to certify under me. Like, because it's not fair. If I would be too hard on them, I wouldn't be able to put that aside. So I'm going to actually send them off to a different certification. Just so it's completely neutral and it's completely like, there's no, oh, well, he got certified because he's John's guy. Like, no, not in my house. Go ahead, Chad.
No, it's, I think, I was thinking about this today, even before this chat, and, for me, I used to be, I didn't really, I guess, put the certifications or the trainings in perspective until I kind of went on my own in 2006. And, I was, as a subcontractor installer, I'm handed so many different materials and things of that nature. And that's when it kind of clicked. And, every material is so different. So, I'm going to go into like the training aspect versus, and then go into the certification aspect because, for me, I think I have 13 total certifications. And investing in yourself, is hard, I guess, at the beginning because you wonder if you really need it. But at the same time, if you don't put that money towards yourself, you're actually taking away from your customers as well because you're not gaining any more knowledge. And, it's just like anything else, if the furnace guy comes to you, you kind of choose someone that's certified or that's who you look for, or even a roofing guy. Same type of thing, so for me, I went and got trained, on no matter what certification I was going for, because it's that important, it's that important to learn that material and know the difference between, cast and calendared and know, that the installer has to work with the designer to, get the end result to be, somewhat successful as it can be. And then when you look at these certifications, get these certifications because, for one, it shows the customer that you're serious about what you do. So when they walk in your shop and you have, 10 certifications, 2 certifications, whatever it may be, it shows that you took the time to do what you had to do to kind of further yourself and give them a good product.
Am I the least certified trainer on this panel?
Yes.
What?
That's a quick yes.
I'm out, dude.
You might want to invest in yourself a little bit more. Okay?
Dang it. Sorry, that just hit me.
No, you're good. But, and sitting here, I don't think I would be in a network of installers like you or even guys outside of this, if I didn't take those. Me and Charlie, I think Matt had a certification, so you get that network of installers that you can bounce ideas off each other. And, whether you come to our class, just like John said, we have students that that call us and email us, whether it's me, Justin, John, or even Charlie now. And, they thank us, and, but they have questions, and we're happy to answer, throughout, because at the end of the day, it's a relationship. We're all going to grow as an industry together. And that's the whole point, and we want to give our customers the best thing we can give them. So, so training and certification, and I love our program because I love, again, who's sitting on this panel with me, because we install very, very similar, and we don't take a lot, before we used to take a lot of risk, but risk, there's a lot of error and there's a lot of comeback, so now we install very smart and calculated, and that's what we try to transfer to you guys. And that's what we love so much, because it's just, at the end of the day, it's enjoyment for us, and we want to help you guys and help everyone as a whole, and you guys help us just as much.
So
Absolutely.
we had a quick question about should someone take the classes before taking the certification exam? So do you want to take a quick minute to explain the two types of classes and the certification exam?
Let Justin take that.
So, I mean, well, it's changing now, which is interesting, but, basically we have two workshops. We have a basic intermediate, which is commercial, which teaches cars, walls, floors, and cut vinyl. And then there's the color change workshop, which is naturally a little bit more advanced. That focuses just on color change and just vehicles. So how we basically structured is we recommend that you take the commercial class first, then the color change class, then you take the certification. I think it really helps. I think even if you're an experienced installer, and let's say you have 20 cars under your belt, I think if you don't take the color change workshop, your chances of passing the test go down quite a bit. I think if you just come in stone cold, I mean, unless you're like a Jim Miller who just showed up and took the test, I think the chances of passing are really low, to be honest. And not because we're super strict again, but we just have a high quality standard. So I think taking the workshops is a no-brainer. I don't know if you guys have any other.
Yeah, I've had very few students come in that didn't take the class and pass the certification. Again, I'm not saying it's not possible, but at the same time, there are little tips and tricks and little side conversations in these classes, not the certification, but in the actual Avery Dennison trainings that is off. Sorry, there's an announcement in my my office that threw me off. But there's a lot of little tips and tricks and nuances and side conversations that you have in those trainings that prepare you for the test. Like if I'm training and I say, this might be on the test, that's basically me holding you and saying, this is going to be on the test, pay attention. And if you're not in the class, you don't get that and you don't see that. So, it's the little things like that that really sets it apart.
Yeah, and there's two different beasts, involved in that certification, whether it be commercial or, or digital, I should say, and color change, and there's different approaches, and we show different approaches, and and how to achieve those approaches, installation wise. So we consider that in the test and all that good stuff. And so any class, no matter what class you're going to, or certification, it's always best because, every material is different and they handle differently. And, some manufacturers require certain ways. So that's another thing.
Absolutely. And what I do like about the test, and if you're watching right now and you're interested in taking the Avery certification, it's not very expensive. I think the price point, Destiny, is around $479 for the workshop to take. And what's great about it is if you don't pass the first time, you get to take it again for free within a calendar year. And then once you're on, then you're you get your badge and you be able to put that on your website. But you also get put on the Avery Dennison Find an Installer page, and I think Avery recently updated that. Is that correct, Destiny?
Yes, we did recently update that, and one of the perks with that is have access to a portal when you become a CWI, to where you get first access to when we launch our new colors. You can see all the photos and images, videos, all that product information in the portal, and that is brand new within the last month.
And you definitely get a lot of jobs by being an installer. I mean, at Avery's site, people go there, look for an installer, and you can go straight to their website. So you sometimes don't know that it's actually coming from the Avery Dennison website. But I do think it's a great job generator, and I think it's great in terms of the industry. I think within the industry, installers, like if I know someone's Avery certified, I definitely feel very confident hiring them for a job, for sure.
Absolutely.
When it comes to the certifications, you know,
No question.
we make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year off of our certifications. Just with referrals and people calling us saying, hey, I found you on the Avery Dennison website, or hey, I saw you under this certification, or whatever it may be. They're so important. And people don't, I hear a lot of people saying sometimes on the public forums on social media, like, oh, I don't want to get certified. Like, it's not worth it. Like, last time I checked, you know, 6 figures was a lot of money. And then you multiply that times each certification you get, you know, you could bring in $500,000 and you could get one job. You could get one fleet job that's, you know, 6 figures or bigger.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry if that's, being a smart in business isn't for everyone, but I think that certifications it's crucial, absolutely crucial to number one, you know, I don't know how you guys sell wraps to your clientele, but we have used the term, you know, it legitimizes your company to have a wrapped vehicle. It because it does. It shows the world that you're here to stay and you're investing into your branding. Well, a certification does the exact same thing for an installer. It legitimizes you, legitimizes your company, legitimizes your skill set to the world.
Exactly.
And so speaking about, you know, certifications are really important to have. And I think one thing that we're all passionate about, you know, is just continued education, you know. So there's the Avery Dennison workshops, which I think are very affordable. You get a roll of film for taking the workshop, and, you know, you get great training. But there's also this, you know, the things outside of the Avery Dennison workshop, which they're super cool to help, you know, promote, and they're open to. You know, I have the Wrap Institute, which is my online streaming video platform. So if you don't know about it, go to the Wrap Institute booth at the ISA show. We have a special show discount for getting 15% off. We have almost 2,400 videos right now, and we come out with 5 new videos a week.
Wow.
And it's about everything. And what's great about it is it's just totally open about learning. I have a great new partner in Germany with Reiner, and he's just genius. So, you know, the depth and the quality of the videos is there, which is awesome. And then, John, you have Wrap IQ. I don't know if you want to talk to people about. I mean, you talked earlier about it.
First and foremost, I will tell you this. You know, you know, as trainers, we look for continued education, and we look for the best avenues of continued education. As a business owner, I look for avenues of continued education for my team, for myself, for everyone in my organization, for my entire team. If you are not a member of the Wrap Institute, you are missing out on daily new videos of cutting edge continued education. It's literally like the cost of a Starbucks coffee per month to be a member. I mean, you guys have a discount code too, don't you? That's just for the show. My point is it's like the time, it's a very small investment for an immense amount of knowledge. So you can pay me later too. It's cool. No, for real, like real talk though, like if you're not a member of the Wrap Institute, you really should look into it. It's very, very inexpensive. Your return on your investment is immense. I mean, let's say that you learn how to wrap a mirror better through a video on the Wrap Institute, and that particular mirror doesn't come back for a removal and a redo. How much was that worth? $8? Was that worth $10? To me, it would be worth $150, $200, $300. Like just that one tip could be worth the entire year worth of membership. It's unfathomable to me that people they're not a member and they're not continuing their education. With that being said, yes, I have.
And I think, but the thing is,
please, no, please.
Just really quickly, I just want to say before you talk Wrap IQ, someone made a funny comment. The fact that we're all wearing black hats, does that mean that we're black belts in wrap?
Yes.
I love it. I love it.
Okay. All right, so John, Wrap IQ.
So I have a business coaching program called John Duever Coaching and Consulting. It is based primarily on the vehicle wrap world, the adhesive backed advertising world, the window tinting world, PPF world, things that I do every single day. I've been in business 20 years. We've grossed well into the 8 figures here at Vinyl Images. It's a very successful company. I've seen, if you name it, anything, I've seen it in business. I start my 20th year in business on April 15th. In a partnership with my family. Like, there's many layers of BS to this whole thing in the last 20 years that I've been through. So I decided to start a coaching and consulting business about 3 years ago. I started taking it very seriously. Last year, COVID hit, and we got a lot of people really focused on their businesses, really focused on their lives, and really doing well in business. If it's something that you're interested in doing, it is an investment. of time and finances, and you're going to have to work hard, and you can't be afraid of hard work. You must be coachable. And if you're interested, go to johnduever.com and click on the coaching link and fill out the application. The reason we go through an application process is because I'm a pretty intense person, and I have a certain style of direct business coaching, one-on-one business coaching, and it's not for everybody. And I don't want to waste your time, and I don't want to waste my time, and I want to make your business as best it can possibly be. And I want to make sure that the people I work with are very coachable, and I want to make sure the people I work with they're not afraid to do the work. But yeah, that's my coaching program. It's doing really well. We have a lot of really good members, and the group aspect of the coaching program is great as well, where we all have access to each other on a closed forum, and we can bounce off all these crazy ideas. We share a lot of information just inside the coaching program itself. So johnduever.com, click on the coaching link and fill out an application. I'd love to work with you.
Cool. And while this is happening, and I'm just checking the comment section, someone said, is there any classes available in Vancouver, Canada? And the answer is maybe. So basically right now with Canadian rules and COVID, it looks like it's possible. I'm working with Graham from Avery Dennison. I'll be teaching in Vancouver, it looks like at the end of June at this point. And I just got vaccinated, so the likelihood of that is very high. So I think the Canadian classes will be a go this year. And so we have 6 scheduled for Canada. We have Vancouver, Calgary, Ottawa, Toronto, Montreal. So good lineup.
Ricardo, if you want to shoot an email to the email address I posted up above, rapclasses.na@averydennison.com, we can get you added to a list when we make sure those Canada classes are back up and running.
Ricardo, if you're in Vancouver, send me an email. I have a van I need wrapped there. It just came over today. John@wewrapanything.com.
Boom, just like that.
Boom.
Doesn't even have the certification yet. It's getting done.
Let's go.
You might not even know how to rap. Who cares?
His last name's Cuervo.
So with that being said,
It is. Cuervo.
that's a good sign. That's a good sign. Every year, we added Charlie, which is one of our big announcements, which for this is just, it's like Christmas. And then also Destiny, based on the demand and Charlie coming on, what is the other big announcement?
Announcement is, and there's been a couple of questions about it, we are expanding for the year. So we have a huge waiting list. We have a lot of passionate people ready to learn. So we will be adding 13 classes from May through November. And those will be live on our website on Friday. So check our website. I'll post the link again on Friday to get registered for those.
That's a big deal.
That's super.
Yeah,
exciting.
That's a huge deal.
All the classes are selling out. You said all the classes are sold out through September. So to add 13 classes, man, this industry needs it and we want it. So awesome.
Yeah.
So for those of you watching, the Avery Dennison workshop, Destiny has the link for you. Again, they're very affordable. I think it's $849 and then $899 for the workshop. So you get a free roll of material. It's a 2-day workshop, lunch, breakfast provided. What I like about it though is just the depth of knowledge, and I think, and I can say this, I think comfortably, is that if you take a training from myself or John or Chad or Charlie, you're going to get the same workshop in terms of the core and the message and the feel. But then you're also going to get the unique, like we all get the same presentation. I build a presentation every year, but then, every trainer has the ability or has the, they can put in their own pictures that tell their own story based on the core, which I think makes it more powerful and it connects with the viewers. I mean, it connects with the students much more. And I think you guys agree with that, I'm sure.
Absolutely. I think one of the coolest things about this, the 4 amigos here, is the fact that like I would take a class with Charlie. Like I would take a class with Justin. I would take a class with Chad, and I would sit back and I would learn, It's funny that you see some of the veterans in this game, when you go to, like, for instance, Jim Miller, when you go to Jim's class in Atlanta, that dude sits there and he just watches and he's picking up. He's been in this industry since stickers were stickers. He's been sticking stickers since stickers were stickers. Okay. And he's still learning. He's still learning. He's still picking stuff up. And that's how we all are too. We're always learning. And the depth of the training here is just, it's incredible.
Yeah, it's 40 years,
Yeah.
right? 40 some years you've been in business.
That's half his age or something.
That's
45 years.
stuck
He
his
says.
45 years.
40
so he's been sticking stickers before
45.
I was even here. Before I was
But I
even
think,
swimming.
but again, I think if I bring it back to what I feel like makes the workshop special is the fact that Avery has such a loose hand on us. Like they give us a lot of trust. They trust us to, represent their company really well, but also to just like do what we think is best for the students and give the right message. And I think for me that I love that freedom because it really comes from, this again, the slogan of the Rap Institute is never stop learning. And I came up with that slogan when someone for 2 months showed me how to do corners, and I've been rapping for 15 years, and he schooled me. And I was like, it was a really eye-opening moment where it's like, okay, someone who has no experience basically showed me way better, and I had to be open to it. Otherwise, I wasn't going to progress. And I think we all are passionate about that. And I know, especially you, Charlie, as a business owner, you have new employees, you're dealing with that day in and day out. You live by it as well.
Oh yeah. Employee training is a whole different animal. Everyone is, it's one thing to have someone come to a class that has never, done any installs, in a digital class, green, and then go to a certification class or a SWF class. But with a business, we get all walks of life, and it's really exciting. It's really cool. Same thing with going back to the training is watching these individuals grow. I got a couple installers that we got from a local tech program, and they have a wrapping and digital side of it. And we've been working with those guys for years. I mean, they're on year 4 or 5, and it's really exciting watching those guys grow and doing the vehicle wraps all by themselves. I mean, yesterday I watched one of my guys, going back to Jim Miller, just watching the class. Yesterday I just watched one of my guys do an install. I mean, he didn't know it, but I was working on the boat next to him, and I was just like, look at him, he's flying over there. Good for him. I remember when he could, didn't know how to hold a squeegee, and now look at him smashing stuff out. Super exciting stuff.
That's awesome. And Chad, what are your thoughts like on the, the program? You expanded your training program, so you're teaching a lot more workshops this year. And you actually like to focus on the commercial side. Like John and I teach a lot of the color change class, which I like, and I like to do the certifications. But you really have opted to do a lot of the commercial. Why is that?
I just, a lot of, and I can do color change. I love color change just as much. But digital for me is, I think it to my heart, because I didn't really have that sort of training, and to be able to start someone off in the right steps is just kind of heartwarming to me. So yeah, I love the digital class. I love, the feel of it. And, a big thing for me is just making sure that, they're relaxed and kind of getting what they need to get out of the class, and I love that about all 3 of us. And even Charlie, now that he's in on the program, is just, I think the feel that we have and just having students come in and just be relaxed and, kind of go through the motions and to be able to take everything away. But no, I love the digital class. It's my background, and, I love the students that come in through there. And I just think that's, it's awesome because I didn't have it. So.
Yeah, I think for all of us, I started in 1996, I started rapping, and dude, I had one squeegee for 5 years because I didn't know where else to get squeegees because there was really, I had no training, no nothing. I think a lot of you guys just basically, John, did you have any formal training when you first started, or?
Yeah, it was at the School of Hard Knocks and Bankruptcy. No, there was one training per year. It was for the PDAA, and that was my first training. It was down in Florida. Yeah, it was a long time ago, man. It was a long time. It was probably 15 years ago or so, and we didn't realize how wrong we were installing. Like, we didn't know how bad we were until we went and we actually saw the right way to do stuff. We're just like, oh, all right, maybe I should have taken this training last year or the year before.
And that's true, because even in the beginner training, we push a lot of it. A lot of it's just getting a feel for the material and just getting comfortable with it. And, that alone, I think, just puts you in the right position to get off on a right start, and so I think you're right, John. It's one of those things. It clicks, and it even clicks with them. You said it earlier, when them light bulbs go off, and you see that light bulb go off, that feeling right there is just, it's
Changes
just
your
like,
life.
boom, it hits you, and yeah, you just
Yeah,
want to
it
hug
changes
them,
your
you know?
life.
Granted, we can't right now because of COVID,
Yeah.
but it's cool, because I wish I had those moments until I was certified, really, until I went to those classes and really started to understand the process of even how vinyl's made. You know, makes a huge difference on how you apply it. And, you know, if it fails or if it stays, you know, like take a mirror for an example, you know, it's crazy stuff.
I think one of the
Cool.
coolest things I learned Justin, when I first started, I was going to be a trainer, and you're like, hey, come on down to Dallas and I'll teach you how to train. I'm like, oh yeah, awesome. And I took the class and I learned so much in the class. I'm like, dude, I got to train this stuff now. Like, oh my gosh. Like, it was just a great experience. But again, I was going to make a point. When we first started in business, we would do one wrap every 3 months, and it would take 3 installers a full week to do it. And this is, you know, early 2000s. And now we're knocking out 2, 3, 4 reps a day, you know, with 2 or 3 or 4 people. Like, it's just such a different industry, you know. With this continued education with the Rap Institute and with these Avery Dennison classes, I always tell people, you know, I've been doing this 21 years. I've been in the industry 21 years. I'm a firm believer that if you are eager and you are motivated and you want to do the work, you can get up to my knowledge in 21 years in 5 years, 6 years. You can have it all,
100%.
because we didn't do the internet, wasn't even really around. You know what I mean? And now there's social media and there's the Rap Institute and all these other digital media like platforms to, like, how are you going to call someone on a payphone and be like, hey, I got this rap I'm doing and it's looking like this? You know what I mean? Like back in the day, like you could never explain it. Now you just FaceTime them. Say, oh, here. You know what I mean? It's just a different beast.
Or you go on a science show and do this talk, which is cool. So, you know, I think what I think is cool now, though, is you know, the ability to learn and to change and to take workshops. And so I think for those of you watching again, is take a workshop. You know, I just did a speakeasy at 9:30 today, and someone was on. I said, you know, have you ever taken a workshop? He's like, the last workshop I took was Fellers, and I was like, they stopped teaching workshops in 2008 or 2009. And he's a super cool guy, but it's like, and he's like, well, I see people doing stuff and there's new material, but I'm behind the curve. So, I mean, for all of you, I mean, I personally would take a workshop every year, just constantly fresh and keep new and do that stuff. And I think the fact that you get a free roll of material from Avery Dennison, it pays for itself, you know, and plus that we're teaching a new workshop. I don't know about you guys, but I've taught people take my workshop 2 or 3 times at least, you know, just to get refreshed. And I think that's highly important. I highly recommend it.
I know
it's kind of a no-brainer.
I know one of the big things when I was doing lots of certifications was just being kind of, and this is just a tip for everyone watching. I was nervous to go to these classes. I remember my first class at Icon Raps, Justin was training it.
Yeah.
You know, I was so nervous, right? You know, didn't know anyone in the room, first experience. I kind of just sat in the corner, got my coffee, kind of looked at Justin, corner of my eye, don't make eye contact. I was so nervous. You know, I'm serious. And I'm sure there's someone here watching that needs to hear, like, don't be nervous, just go. Like, especially if you don't know anything. You have no bad habits. You have not messed up a million things yet. You have not gotten in a lot of trouble for screwing something up. Get the information now. You know, don't be afraid to just get in the door and kind of mess things up on a rental car. That's the best time to do it.
It's such a great point. That's such a great point. I playing off that, I try to drive that home with the client or with the students, you know, like mess up my vinyl here. Mess up my rental car. You know, I got the extra insurance for a reason. Like, it's all good, you know, mess this stuff up so you don't mess up a client's car, you know? And then once you kind of break the ice with students in a class like that, they're like, oh, okay, yeah, I guess I don't have to be embarrassed that I don't know an open cut from a closed cut or a 180 cut or whatever it may be, you know? There's nothing to be embarrassed about just because you don't know what you don't know. That's kind of my motto for 2021. I don't know what you don't know. Like, you don't know what you don't know until you really take a class or you figure out what you don't know. And it's literally my motto for this year. Like, I don't know what you don't know, but I'm going to try to find out. And I'm going to try to teach as many people as I possibly can, as much as I can. And when you go into these classes, it's just another level, man, because it's funny. You see the people. We've noticed that there's not a lot of experience, like super veteran installers in these classes at this point. There's a lot of green installers, within the first 2-3 years of their careers. And it's so funny because you can see, like, when you go around the room and people introduce each other, you can see it's like, oh, well, they're just like me. Like, yeah, we are. Even the veterans. Like, this is a big family. There's no such thing as a dumb question. And we're going to, we're just going to laugh and we're going to make mistakes. Like, as a trainer, and I'm sitting there wrapping a bumper and I accidentally blow through a piece of vinyl with a heat gun. Like, see? I do it too.
It happens, man. It happens to everybody. You got to drop that guard and just take these classes. And, even right here, I mean, this is who we are. I mean, it's, the biggest thing is to go there, feel comfortable and just let it all loose, man, and learn. I mean, that's because, we make mistakes every day. I mean, I know I do. So Justin probably not, but yeah, it's this is us. And, that's what I love about this group is we can go in there and we can have fun. And that's what we want you students to do. So it's exciting.
And I think a big takeaway too is, from this conversation is definitely don't buy a rent-a-car because we use them in the workshops.
Not from National.
Yeah. There might be some cuts around the handle.
But
there might be some cuts around the handle.
I hope no one from National. Yeah.
There might be some rubber missing from the, So, but yeah, this is all good stuff. So, some of those, someone says, will there be new times for the wrap shop listed? Again, we have 13 new workshops for the Avery program.
Friday.
Destiny says they'll be on Friday.
On Friday.
And does Avery have a booth at the
We
ISA
do. Yep. We have
Expo?
We have a booth. You can check it out. There's a link to the registration page on there as well. So those will be updated on Friday if you click there.
Awesome. And on Friday during the ISA show between 11:30 a.m. and 4 o'clock p.m., the Rap Institute has the first ever Rap Warrior game show. And that's sponsored by Avery Dennison as well. And it's going to be super exciting where the first half hour is the competition. And then the second half hour of each round, there's 4 rounds, is a great panel discussion. And on the panel discussion, the last one for round 4, Charlie and John are going to be on there. We're going to be talking about training, but training employees specifically for business. So if you're interested in that, definitely check out the Rap Experience panel discussion on Friday. And it's going to be super awesome. And thank you for Avery for sponsoring, because I think it's going to be.
Yeah, we're excited to see that. So I have one question. If anyone else has any last minute questions, feel free to throw them in the chat. But I have one question. I've known all of you for quite some time, and I've seen all of you in action in some fashion. So I would love if you could describe your teaching styles or your presentation styles in 3 words.
Can I cuss? No.
Probably
Oh,
not.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I'm going to say real life experience is what I'll say.
God, that's good. That's hard to beat.
I figure I had to go first.
That was a good one.
I
Now
wanted to
just
go
lost my
first
train
so
of
I could
thought.
get it out of the way, so I didn't.
Oh. Oh,
I
boy.
guess. Oh, go ahead, Justin.
No, you go.
I guess
Charlie.
what I would
No,
say
no.
was probably be, and this is something I learned from one of my mentors years ago, and I take it with almost everything in my life, is crawl, walk, run. You're not going to be able to figure this out right out the gate. It's going to take some time. So as far as teaching style, it kind of goes along with that as well. I'm not going to expect you to understand everything right out the gate. You just got to understand what I'm doing and kind of start inching forward rather than standing still. That's the big goal here.
That's a good one.
Chad.
Yeah, I know.
Ooh.
I like
I was
barbecue.
just gonna say, just feel comfortable. No, for me, it's I guess it is just feel comfortable, because I want you guys to feel comfortable. I want you to drop everything at the door and just come in there and a big thing for me is just having fun and smiling and kind of just absorb. I mean, I'm absorbing things from you guys just as much as you're absorbing things from me. I mean, it's just like what John said. It's Jim Miller. He sits back and watches and learns. So, but anyways, yeah, just feel comfortable and just relax, and learn and continue education. I went off on a tangent. I'm sorry.
Mine would be
I was gonna
never
say
stop
it.
learning.
I was gonna say it.
Yeah.
That's the one you should have said, John, just so we couldn't have it.
I wish I would have said it. Just cut him off. Watch him.
But it's hard not to swear because I think people watching should be prepared that we all like to swear in the workshops. Though maybe Chad,
Minimal,
but
minimal.
Yeah, I probably don't
It's
as
tough.
much as you guys.
My wife gets
Minimal.
mad at me. My wife tells me, "You better stop." So she's smarter than me and knows more than me. So I just do what my wife says.
Softy.
I'll do what your wife says too. Cool.
Well, I just want to thank everyone for joining. And Joseph said that he's feeling a lot more comfortable for the classes. So I think we accomplished our goal here. And I thank
Absolutely.
everyone for joining. And I
Absolutely.
thank all of you all for being here. And we're so excited,
Awesome.
Charlie, to have you on the team.
So excited. It's been
Welcome,
a dream.
Charlie.
It's been a dream of mine. I'm super excited. So good, so good. Started from the bottom. Now we here. Kids say, right?
Yeah, that's right.
The Four Amigos, baby. Dallas, if you're listening, I sent you a text. I need a drawing of the Four Amigos, bro. Dallas Fowler with rap tunes. Let's go.
Ooh. I'm down. Awesome. So, I mean, Destiny, any other
I
questions?
think
or
we're
are we
good to go. Does anyone have anything to add? I don't really see any. I see a lot of congratulations and thank yous. So I don't see any more questions. Do any of you have any parting
Thank you,
words?
guys. No, I'm so excited for this year.
That's gonna be
Yeah.
a good year.
Unbelievable.
No.
We're excited for
Unbelievable.
the future. Absolutely.
Awesome.
All right.
Cool. Well, great seeing you guys virtually.
Yes.
Hope to see you in person. And
All
thank
right.
you,
Thank you,
Destiny, for
Dustin.
putting this
Yeah, of
together.
course.
As
Thank
always.
you all.